Very good evening to all of you, friends. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep, the most comprehensive preparation app for all exams. And a very warm welcome to the last lap to Maharashtra CET. This is a group of just videos we bring to you. These are all live videos wherein we are discussing with you certain very important aspect for your preparation for Maharashtra CET. The exam is on Thursday. You just have 2 more days for your for you to sit for this examination. So I'm sure that you guys are well prepared enough. You guys are absolutely prepared for your examination. Just a couple of few days, 2 days time, not much. Okay. So today we bring to you a session wherein we shall be discussing with you theories, certain theories of law relating to what are generally asked. And apart from that, I'm also going to show you the structure of Maharashtra CET in a larger aspect. So we have, and of course, we have to solve a number of questions. So let's move ahead. Okay. A very good evening to all of you. Everyone, good evening. Okay. Now, what is the agenda for today's session? The first thing is the type of questions that are asked. Second, we are going to talk about certain theories of law, voidable agreement, void agreement. So, yeah. Then we are going to talk about fundamental rights and general exceptions under the Indian Penal Code. And finally, we shall also be dealing on with vicarious liability and negligence insofar as tort is concerned. So we are going to cover some aspect of law of contracts, constitution, criminal law, as well as law of torts in this session. And of course, without anything to say, we will have to solve a number of questions. So there are 30 questions that we shall be solving in today's session. So before we move ahead, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you a scholarship test. Get up to 90% scholarship on our preparation program. This is going to be held on 16th of April at 10:11 a.m. Now let's move ahead. Now let's understand the type of questions that have come in Maharashtra CET 2022. Now you guys are sitting for Maharashtra CET 2023. Now what are the types of questions that they have asked in the previous years? Principal fact, principal set 10, assertion reasoning 1, legal reasoning 29. Now, please understand this. So in 2022, the kind of questions that came in this particular session, this particular question paper, was principal set. Okay, those are set based questions 10. Assertion reasoning only 1, very less in comparison. Now legal reasoning 29. These are all facts. These might be legal knowledge based questions. These might be principle and fact based questions. So it was a mix of these kind of things that did come in 2022. 2023, 2021, let's see the topics. From Constitution 10, Contracts 8, Torts 12, Law of Crimes 11, Miscellaneous just 3. So the main thing is Constitution, Law of Torts, absolutely important. Then comes Law of Contract and Torts in that particular exam. Now, these will carry equal weightage again. This will carry equal weightage again. All are important. All these four, Constitution, Contracts, Torts, and Law of Crimes, are important. Now, in 2021, principle and fact-based questions were 39, direct question were 6. So, you can see the kind of question. So, most of the questions that you might see on that day would be more of principle and fact-based question than direct question, legal knowledge questions. So let's move on and understand and try to understand. I am Andhra Pradesh in this class helpful for me? Absolutely. You are sitting for Maharashtra. If you guys are appearing for Maharashtra CET, this session is absolutely important. Okay. So what are void agreements? Void agreements means those agreements that are not recognized under the law. Agreements not enforceable. Now, for example, restraint of marriage. If you are entering into an agreement to stop someone from getting married, that agreement is void. Suppose I say, I will give you 10 lakh rupees provided you don't marry Miss A. I give 5 lakh to this Mr. A and I say you don't get married to Miss A. I will give you 5 lakh rupees. After 1 year, they get married. Can I go to a court and say, I have given him money. I have paid him 1 lakh rupees so that he does not get married. He has got married. Return my 5 lakh rupees. Court will say get lost. Same thing with restraint of trade. You cannot enter into an agreement to stop someone from entering into a legal financial market. Grocery shop, no issues. Agreement in restraint of legal proceeding. You cannot enter into an agreement whereby you stop someone from enforcing his legal right. Now, I cannot enter into an agreement whereby I say that even if there is a dispute, you cannot take it to the court. No. You cannot stop the courts from functioning by way of an agreement. Agreements, the meaning of which is uncertain. You go to a shop and you say, I want 5 kilo of rice. Which rice? Basmati rice, India Gate rice, that rice. There are 50 different types of rice. So things which you are buying or selling has to be certain. Agreements by way of wager. What is a wager? It's a bet. You are testing your luck out, nothing else. What you are doing by way of that contract, you are not, you don't care about the outcome. All that you care, whether you win or you lose. That's it. I say that, okay, 1,000 rupees if India wins against Bangladesh. You say no, 500 rupees if Bangladesh wins. I don't care whether India wins or Bangladesh loses. All that I care is about the money. That's a wager. Pure bet. It's pure a game of chance. And then you have agreement which are contingent, impossible event. What is impossible? Suppose tomorrow I say I will give you 5 lakh rupees the day the sun rises from the west. Can the sun ever rise from the west? Can the sun ever rise from the west? It cannot. It just cannot. So something that is impossible to happen, you cannot enter into a contract on that. Agreements to do impossible thing. I will give you such an ashirwad that you will go to heaven. Now, suppose I say that if you give me 500 rupees, I will give you this ashirwad, you will go to heaven. Now, these are impossible. Now, let's understand this. These can be only fictitious. Right? Am I clear? What are void agreements? Are these things all clear? Is that clear to each and every one of you? Every one of you. Any doubts, tell me. Okay. So these are things that are important for Maharashtra CET. What is void agreements? Restraint of trade, restraint of marriage, restraint of legal proceeding, something that is a wager, something that is uncertain, something that is impossible. Am I clear? Good. The next one is voidable contracts. Now, there are certain, now the law says that when you enter into a contract, you enter into a contract by way of your free will. Nobody is forcing you to enter into a contract. Nobody is restraining you from entering into a contract. Simple. You have your own freedom to enter into a contract. Now, the moment you are entering into a contract, if you are under any kind of pressure, any kind of force which you are which is not making you feel that you can independently think whether you should go ahead with a contract or not. Now, suppose somebody puts a gun on your head and say, hey, sell me your mobile phone for ₹100. You will sell your mobile phone for ₹100. Somebody's putting his gun on your forehead. Now that is called coercion, use of physical force. You are doing something that is in violation of our criminal law. Coercion, use of physical force. Now suppose you show the power of your chair, kursi nahi, the power of your office, a branch manager of a bank. You are the police commissioner. Now, you are an income tax official. You are using your power to influence someone from taking a decision which you would not have done unless and until you had influenced him because of your position. Undue influence, very important. Misrepresentation. Misrepresentation means you never had the intention to defraud someone, but galti se ho gaya. But ho gaya. Fraud, intentional deception. You intend to deceive someone and thereafter you are deceiving someone. Intentionally, you are entering into a contract with deception in your mind. With deception in your mind. Fraud. So, did you understand? So, these renders the contract voidable. On whom? On the option of the other party whose consent was not taken freely. So, जिसका consent freely नहीं गया था, जिसका consent freely नहीं गया था, under coercion हो, undue influence हो, misrepresentation हो, fraud हो, he can go to the court and say, I want to re-sign the contract. Am I clear? Is that clear, everyone? Every one of you. Okay, moving on to constitutional law from law of contracts. Now, there are fundamental rights. Now, these fundamental rights are something, those are absolutely fundamental to your life. Right to speak, right to education, right to equality, right to freedom. These are all our basic rights, natural rights, which nature has given to all human beings. Now, fundamental rights are given by way of Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. So, Part 3 of the Indian Constitution deals with fundamental right, which is certain very, very basic inalienable rights. Now, the state cannot make, under Part 3, there's an obligation on the state that the state cannot make a law. The state cannot make a law which violates a citizen's fundamental right. Am I clear? So, the parliament tomorrow cannot frame a legislation whereby a citizen's fundamental right is violated. Am I clear? Right to equality. Everyone should be treated equally. Right to freedom. You have right to travel anywhere. You have right to reside anywhere. You have fundamental right to speak. You have fundamental right of association. Right against being exploited. You should not be exploited by someone. You have a right to religion. Freedom of religion. Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, whichever religion you propagate, Islam, Parsi religion, whichever religion, Christianity, whichever religion, everyone is equal in the eyes of law. Now, if a Hindu commits a murder, a Christian commits a murder, the law is the same. Right? Freedom of religion. The state does not differentiate on the basis of religion, caste, where you are born. Cultural and educational rights. So, everybody has a right over their culture. For example, a person from West Bengal will have a right over their own festival, their own educational rights, cultural rights, especially in the Northeast, okay, in the tribal regions, you have certain cultures that are ingrained in those human beings. Those people have their right, a fundamental right to hold those cultures. Then you have right to constitutional remedies. Constitutional remedies. In case a citizen's fundamental right is violated, in case a citizen's fundamental right is violated, he can go to the court under 32 and he can avail any of those 5 writs. Okay, so there are 5 writs. Most important are habeas corpus from the point of view of your Maharashtra-CET. So have a good knowledge about habeas corpus. Habeas corpus is used where a person is illegally detained. Okay. Somebody who is illegally detained. Now, another very important writ that, yes, quo warranto, yes. Now, constitutional offices, right? Now, there are constitutional provision which says that this is the eligibility of a particular office. Now, in government offices, if a person is appointed and he is not eligible otherwise, he is appointed, he is enjoying the office, but he does not have those qualifications. The Supreme Court can ask him, by whose warrant are you sitting in that office? How are you occupying that office? Quo warranto, very, very important. Prohibition, certiorari, mandamus, of course, they are all important. So these are the 5 different types of writs. So you should have a knowledge on equality, right to equality, but right to equality is not absolute. There is a concept of reservation. Keep that in your mind. Freedom of speech and expression. You have a right to speak anything, but do not cross the Lakshman Rekha. There are certain restrictions, and these are called reasonable restriction. They are called reasonable restrictions. Then you have right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and your right to constitutional remedies. Am I clear? Yeah. Of course, for CUET also this will be very helpful, this session. Yeah. Now moving on to law of crimes. Very, very important. What are those general exception in law of crimes? Mistake of fact. Very important. I'm going to move a little fast so that I have to solve around 30 questions, discuss them with you. So mistake of fact is very, very important from the point of view. What is mistake of fact? Mistake of law is not an excuse, but mistake of fact is. Now, suppose you had certain factually incorrect thing, and owing to that factual incorrectness, you committed a small crime. You can take that defense. Judicial acts. Now, suppose a judge, a district judge, a high court judge says that this man should be hanged by neck until death. The Supreme Court says, no, the High Court order is wrong. Now, can this man say that, Supreme Court said that the High Court is wrong, I am going to file a case against the judge? No. Judges' acts are all protected under the law. Accident. Now, these are certain happenings that have happened. Human intervention is there, or else it would have become act of God. Now, these are certain incidents that have taken place. What has taken place? These incidents have taken place because of human interference. And this has caused certain problems of loss of life or some crime, accident, motor vehicle accident. Human intervention is there. It's not an act of God. Absence of criminal intention. So, in the event there is no criminal intention in the mind, mens rea. Without mens rea, Without mens rea, it cannot be a crime. An act cannot be a crime without mens rea. Is that clear? So absence of criminal intention. Then you have act done by consent. If you have taken the permission of that individual, then it is by consent. A trifling act, very small, little minor things. Suppose somebody's, paper ball, those dustbin, some paper has fallen into my balcony from someone else's balcony. Now can I go to the court and say, this man has trespassed into my land by throwing this paper ball in my land? The court will say, have sense here. These are very minor things. Don't disturb us. Trifling act. Something that is very small. You don't trouble the court for trifling acts. And then you have private defense. Now this is very, very important. And I wanted to come to here. Private defense means that every individual have a right to protect themselves. You have a right to protect yourself. I have a right to protect myself in case I think my life or my property is under threat. If my life or my property is under threat, I am unable to see myself, if I see myself under any kind of threat, somebody is aiming his gun at me, somebody is pointing his, knife at me, my life is in threat. So what do? Don't I act and protect myself? Of course, the law says I have a right to protect myself in case there is a reasonable threat on my life or my property. Okay, is that clear? Okay, या पॉलिटी से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं या CUCT के लिए ये important है. I'm unable to watch this on the app, so you can watch it on YouTube also. It is going live. Okay, can you explain trespass? Now trespass simply refers to if you are entering into someone else's land, or his property without the permission of the owner, then that is called a trespass of land, right? So that is what I meant by causing trespass to land. Okay, is that clear, everyone? So guys, if you are liking this session, why aren't you just clicking on the like button? Let me see how many likes. Okay, there are around 50 people who are watching and just 27 likes. Okay, moving on to the next important concept of vicarious liability. Now what is vicarious liability? So generally under the law, if I commit a wrong, I will be held responsible. So the law says if I commit a wrong, I will be held responsible. If Mr. A commits a wrong, Mr. A will be held responsible. Mr. B commits a wrong, Mr. B is held responsible. Now, there is an exception to this rule called vicarious liability, which says that for the wrong committed by one party, that very party will not be punished, but someone else will have to pay compensation. Master servant. Suppose the master tells his servant, go to the vegetable market, get 10 kilo of potato for me. Now, the servant is going to the market. The servant definitely is going to the market because the master has asked him to do so. Now, the question over here is, for the wrong that the servant commits, who will be held responsible? Master or the servant himself? Now, suppose the servant takes the cycle of the master, goes to the Sabji Mandi, buys 10 kilo of potatoes for him. Now, while coming back, there's an accident. There's an old lady, there was an accident in the road. The old lady got injured. Now, who will have to pay compensation? Is the master liable or the agent or the servant liable? Now, owing to these, the law that has evolved is that if a servant is doing an authorized act, if someone is doing an authorized act on behalf of the master, because the master has directed him to do something, and while doing that authorized act, if the servant commits a wrong, then the master will be held liable. That has become the law. Similarly, if one of the partners commits a wrong, other partners will be held responsible. If an agent commits a wrong, the principal will be held liable. LIC agent, Maruti agent, car agent, insurance agent, bank agent. So for the wrong committed by an agent of a bank, the bank can be held liable. Similarly, companies and its director. All the directors can be held liable. No, it is the company who will be held liable for the wrong committed by its director. Of course, for the wrong committed by its director, the company will be held liable. For the wrong committed by the ward, the guardian, the legal guardian will be held responsible. So this is the concept of vicarious liability, which says that for the wrong committed by one party, that party is not held liable, but someone else is held liable owing to this relationship that has been brought. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear to everyone? Any doubts? Okay. So guys, let's move on. Negligence. The next topic we are going to talk about is negligence. Now, what is negligence? Somebody has certain duty of care. I have certain duties. I am unable to fulfill those duties, and owing to some carelessness, some omission on my part, somebody's legal rights are affected. Now, a doctor is supposed to treat its patient properly. Now, suppose a doctor, while doing a surgery, goes off to sleep, and as a result of which the patient dies. Who will be held responsible? Who? The doctor? Because he had a duty. There is a duty that the doctor had. The doctor did not take care of its duty. There is a breach of that duty owing to which someone lost his life. Damn damages. That is what we understand as negligence. This is what we understand as negligence. So negligence is a concept wherein there is a failure on the part of an individual to perform its duty. He fails to perform its duty. Breach, or there is a breach, and someone's legal right is violated. It's a damage that is caused. That is what we understand as negligence. Am I clear, all of you? So guys, if you're liking this session, do press the like button. If you're liking this session, do press the like button. Yes, you must do a lot of mocks. You must do a lot of mocks in the last couple of days. You don't have to get demotivational. Do not. Just cheer up your spirits. Everything will go in the right direction. You guys have worked hard. आप लोगों ने बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत लगाया, तो जरूर आपको फल मिलेगा. Okay. Okay, any other? Okay, okay, those are those. Okay, okay, fantastic. Moving on. Let's practice certain questions. Okay, let's try to do one questions. There are 30 questions. Okay, there are total 30 questions. We'll do it in 2 rounds, 1 to 15, 16 to 30. Okay, let's read. Principles of natural justice. You are a candidate for selection. You are also in the board, which is in the selection board. You are a part of the deliberation in which your name is considered and approved. Please, I don't want any mistakes. No mistakes at all. Not even a single mistake I want today. The correct answer is absolutely A. This is against the principle of natural justice. No person shall be a judge in his own cause. Eric, who is a member of the selecting board, also a candidate, he participates during his selection process. Thank you. Question number 2. Okay. Some mad person is trying to kill someone else. That someone else is trying to protect his life. He has a right of private defense. Vijay has a right of private defense. He will not be liable for any offense. He has a right to have that private defense. Just because a madman is trying to kill me, don't I use my private defense? Of course I will. Am I clear, all of you? Question number 3. Long established practices, unwritten rules which have acquired binding or obligatory character becomes a source of law. It is called precedent. No, that's called judgment. Custom, yes. Convention, legislation, this is parliament. Convention, these are also certain types of practices. But when you say custom, it is much more closer. So option B is the right answer. Option B is the right answer. Long established practices, unwritten rules which have acquired bindingness or obligatory character. Is that clear? Good. Question number 4. Okay, let's move ahead. Law does not penalize for wrongs which are of trivial nature. Abhay, while having a discussion with Pankaj, his colleague tapped on his shoulder. अरे शाबाशी दिया, कंधे पे शाबाशी दिया. Pankaj felt offended, filed a case against Abhay. Oh my God! अरे मैंने आपसे प्यार मोहब्बत में आपसे मैंने पीठ थपथपाया, आपको शाबाशी दी. Law does not penalize wrong which are trivial in nature. Abhay is not liable. It was of trivial nature. It was of trivial nature. माइनर थिंग. समबडी पीठ में आपका थपथपा दिया तो आप कोर्ट में चले जाएंगे. वाह जी वाह. Am I clear, everyone? If you guys are enjoying this session, then press the like button and share this session with your friends. Question number 5. Rakesh enters into an agreement with Suresh that he will not start a competing business while Rakesh is alive. Suresh was a trainee. He says he enters into an agreement, okay. Is there any kind of restraint to someone's trade? Can you understand? Is there a restraint? Yes, there is. And hence, the agreement is void. The agreement is void in this particular situation. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are we all understanding? समझ में आ रहा है? Question number 6. Oral statement that will adversely affect the plaintiff's reputation. Oral, something that is not in permanent form. Slander, libel, sneering, comment. Slander. It is slander. Libel is something that is in permanent form. That is in permanent form. So the correct answer is slander. ठीक है, सभी को समझ में आया? Very simple. It's a defamatory. Defamation is of two types, slander and libel. All of you are aware of it. Very good. Let's see. Chalo, question number 7. The remedy of restitution of conjugal rights under the Hindu Marriage Act is available to wife, husband, divorced husband, both wife and husband. That a right of a husband over the wife, the right of the wife over the husband for sex and other conjugal relationship. And the correct answer is yes, both husband and wife. Both husband and wife have been given this right of restitution of conjugal rights under the Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, very, very important. I'm sure most of you are aware of it. Now, these questions are not difficult at all. These questions are not difficult at all. Just you guys need to understand the kind of questions, read them properly and answer them. Question number 8. The word amicus curiae means a friend of the parliament, friend of the court, meeting of minds, a friend of Attorney General of India. And the correct answer is, it is friend of the court. Amicus curiae means a friend of the court. Nothing more, nothing less. He is there to assist the court, to help the court in a particular judgment, in a particular case. Okay. Question number 9. I am not going to speak a single word. Somebody says that I have filed a criminal case against you, I'm going to withdraw it provided you restore certain valuable things back to me. Is it a valid agreement? An agreement whose object or consideration is unlawful is void. Keep that in your mind. The object of the agreement is withdraw criminal case. It is void. The agreement is absolutely void. Am I clear? Is that clear to everyone? Very good, all of you. Proud of you. Question number 10. If a company enters into an agreement beyond the scope of its object, it becomes ultra-virus, intra-virus, extrinsic virus, intra-virus. A very simple question. If somebody is acting beyond its power, beyond its scope, that is called ultra-virus. That is called ultra-virus. Very good. All of you are giving me a good answer. Very good. Nice, nice. Very happy for you guys. Very happy. Moving on to question number 11. Okay, nothing is an offense under 7 years. That's a principle. Fact says 6 years. Fact says 6 years. Principle says below 7 years, nothing is an offense. Option B. Is that clear? Very good. Question number 12. I am solving with you. I am also solving these questions with you. You have to be fast. See, थोड़ा सा जल्दी करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि आपके पास उतना ज्यादा टाइम नहीं होगा एग्जाम के दिन. जल्दी करना पड़ेगा बट इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है, इजी है. Am I clear? Good. 13. For the enforcement of fundamental rights, how many types of writs can be issued by the Supreme Court? I think when I was discussing the writ petitions, writ fundamental rights today itself, in the beginning of the session, I gave you certain numbers. There are 5 different types of writs. Option C is the right answer. What are they? Habeas corpus, quo warranto, certiorari, mandamus, prohibition. Habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, and certiorari. Question number 14. In which of the following judgment the Supreme Court set aside the practice of talaq-e-ibadat or triple talaq? In which case? Mohammad Ahmed Khan versus Shaira Banu, Ahmedabad Women Action Group versus Union of India, Daniel Latifi versus Union of India, और शायरा बानू versus Union of India. ट्रिपल तलाक का केस का नाम क्या है जहां सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ट्रिपल तलाक को अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डिक्लेयर किया था? इट इज शायरा बानो वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया. शाह बानो रिलेट्स टू Muslim women's right to maintenance. Muslim women's right to maintenance is Shah Banu. Shaira Banu is the triple talaq. Am I clear, everyone? Shaira Banu. Question number 15. You go to a medical doctor, you say, the doctor says, I'm going to charge 2 lakh. He signs the document. Later on, he says, no, I'm not going to give you 2 lakh. Was the doctor at a superior position? When somebody is at an influence, he can influence the will. That means he has an influence over that person. Very good. The agreement is voidable. Okay. Question number 16. Who is the deciding authority? Any question relating to whether a bill is a money bill or not? Who decides whether a bill is a money bill or not? This is a very simple question. Very simple question. Speaker Lok Sabha, Chairman Rajya Sabha, Union Finance Minister, President of India. And the correct answer is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Very easy. It was a very easy question. Very easy question. Question number 17. Whoever dishonestly misappropriates or converts to his own use any movable property is guilty of misappropriation. Aman finds a government promissory note belonging to Ankit. Hearing a blank endorsement, Aman, knowing that the note belongs to Ankit, pledges it with a banker as a security for a loan, intending at the future time to restore it to Ankit. Will Aman be liable for the offense of criminal misappropriation? Simple. Has he misappropriated? Did he have the intention, okay, this money did not belong to me, ये तो किसी और का पैसा है. Knowledge था, नहीं था. Immovable good था, you are using it for a different purpose. Yes. Option A. Option A is the right answer. Okay, moving on to question number 18. Landmark judgment of the Supreme Court held that privacy is a constitutional protection under 21 of the Indian Constitution? Aadhaar judgment. Which one? Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Justice Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Yes, very good. All of you have done it right. Fantastic. Every one of you. Congratulations. Very good. Question number 19. A person has no legal remedy for an injury caused by an act to which he has consented. Ross purchased a ticket for watching a baseball match between Chicago Bulls and Boston Celtics, organized by NBA, not my concern. As he was engrossed in watching the match, the basketball hit Ross on his nose and injured him. Can you claim any? Have you heard about voluntary, non-fit injuria? Have you heard about voluntary non-fit injuria? Thank you. You have consented to the risk. The moment you buy that ticket, you consent to the risk that you go to a football stadium, you might be hit by that ball. So the correct answer is that clear? Every one of you. That's how easy it is to solve these questions. Is that clear? Let's move ahead. Question number 20. Nothing is an offense which is done by a person who is bound by law to do it. Sahil. Okay, if somebody has the authority under the law to do a particular act, it is not a crime. A police officer without warrant apprehends Soham, who has committed the murder of Sonali. Decide. He is someone who is bound. He has been empowered under the law to do so, because he is something like a statutory authority. Okay, the correct answer is absolutely he will not be liable. Am I clear to each and every one of you? Have I made myself absolutely clear to you? He will not be held liable. He will not be held liable. (21) The offense of extortion can be committed against movable property, immovabilized or sealed, which can be converted into a valuable security. Commits extortion. Valuable security, both are there. Immovable, signed or sealed. Okay, something that is immovable. Extortion. Yeah, I think everything fits in. All of the above. All of the above is the right answer. All of the above. I think there was some space difficulty for which I could not read that word. Okay, that's all. Question number 22. Within how many months a minister should become a member of the parliament if he is not a member of the parliament? Okay, if you want to become a minister, it happened during Dr. Manmohan Singh's time. 6 months. The correct answer is 6 months. The correct answer is 6 months. Question number 23. No communication made in good faith is an offense by reason of any harm to that person to whom it is made, if it is made for the benefit of that person. So if you say something in good faith for the benefit of the person, it is of no consequence. You're going to take him to the jail or the courts. Romesh, a surgeon, in good faith, communicates to Wilson, a patient suffering from terminal cancer, that in his opinion, Wilson will not live for more than 2 months. तो डॉक्टर ने बोला कि आपका तबीयत ऐसा ऐसा टर्मिनल कैंसर पेशेंट है, आपका तबीयत खराब हो रहा है, मैक्सिमम 2 महीना है. Wilson dies as a consequence of a shock. Is Romesh liable? He had said something in good faith. That is what the principle deals with. That is what the principle deals with. Is that clear to each and every one? Am I clear? Each and every one of you. This is how you should solve. Next question. Question number 24. Display of a menu of a restaurant. Okay. Menu of a restaurant is an offer, acceptance, invitation to an offer, none of the offer. I want to eat this. You might say, oh, okay, we don't serve you. It's an invitation to an offer. There is a mannequin, something is, some shirt, pant is put on that mannequin. You come, you go to the shopping counter and you say, I want to buy this for how much? You are making an offer yourself. The shopkeeper is not shouting and saying, 5 rupiya kilo aloo. Sorry, 25 rupees kilo aloo. Is that clear? Every one of you. Did you understand? Question number 25. You go to the court and you say, no, we are thieves. We had an agreement where we are going to share our everyday, whatever we steal from the market. He took away everything yesterday. Ask him to give me back the stolen things. Thank you. I hope you understood that. Is the purpose of the contract valid? What is the object? Am I clear? Is that clear? Everyone. That's how easy things are. This is an illegal activity. It is an illegal activity. Next question. Mere silence as to facts likely to affect the willingness of a person to enter into a contract is not fraud, unless the circumstances of the case are such that regard being had to them, it is the duty of the person keeping silence to speak, or unless his silence is in itself equivalent to speech. Was it fraud? The answer is no, it is not fraud. Because mere silence is not fraud. Unless you are saying something. Very tricky question. A lot of you have doubts on it. And that's why we have brought you this question. The agreement is valid. Had the other person said, अरे ये घोड़ा सही है, अनसाउंड माइंड का तो नहीं है. इफ यू हैड केप्ट साइलेंट देन इट वुड हैव बिकम फ्रॉड. बट आपने कोई, उसने भी कुछ नहीं पूछा, आपने भी कुछ नहीं बोला. So guys, if you are liking this session, do press the like button and share this session with your friends. 27. Contract which is impossible to perform becomes void. Ashish, citizen of the state X, contracts to take cargo for Bumesh, at a port situated in state Y. The government of state X afterward declared war with state Y. Because of war, it is impossible for the contract to take place. For the contract to take place, it is impossible today because two countries are at war. War has been declared, as a result of which the contract cannot be effectuated. Is that clear? Or 28, the minimum age for becoming member for House of the People, Lok Sabha. 25 years. As simple as that. This was the most simple question. And for Rajya Sabha, it is 30. Okay, do keep this in your mind. For Lok Sabha, it is 25. For Rajya Sabha, it is 30. Keep this in your mind. Question number 29. Anjali is a Jain, Raj a Hindu. Okay, marriage can be solemnized under Special Marriage Act, Hindu Marriage Act, A or B. See, Jains under the Hindu Marriage Act, they are also considered Hindu. Okay, or legal perspective, Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, Sikhs, they are all considered Hindus for the purpose of law. They might have their own rituals for the purposes of marriage. So the correct answer is either A or B. They can do it under Special Marriage Act, absolutely, under Hindu Marriage Act also. Is that clear? Everyone. Question number 30. Communication of a proposal is complete when it comes to the knowledge of the person to whom it is made. Very good. Aman proposes by letter to sell his car to Brijesh. Aman wants to sell his car to Brijesh at a certain price. The communication for the proposal is complete when Brijesh reads the letter, Aman posts the letter, Aman received the acceptance letter. No, you're talking about your proposal is complete. Brijesh receives the letter. Okay. Brijesh posts the letter of acceptance. Brijesh received. See, this is the best answer. The absolute best answer would have been when Brijesh reads the letter. Same. But amongst the four, C is the best answer. So the correct answer is option C. Is that clear? Is that clear to everyone? Okay. So guys, certain tips and tricks. Understand the exam pattern, time management, read the questions carefully. Use the process of eliminating wrong answers while solving, and just do not panic. Cheers. You guys have worked hard. आप लोगों ने बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत किया है. आपको जस्ट शांत दिमाग में आपको एग्जाम देना है. Nothing more, nothing less. All the best. Before I end, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you CLAT 2024 comprehensive course, wherein we are providing you with 300 plus recorded videos across 5 sections, 300 plus hours of live classes, 35 mock tests for CLAT and other law entrance examination along with video solutions, monthly e-magazine for current affairs, and the entire content is curated based on our extensive analysis of the last 5 years of CLAT question paper. BYJU'S bring to you the last lap for Maharashtra CET Law 2023 A to Z revision series for all subject, paper-based question and solid concept clearance. So guys, if you did like today's session, do press the like button, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, do follow us on our Instagram, do like our Facebook page, do join our Telegram channel, and do not forget to download the BYJU'S exam prep app from your Google Play. So guys, with this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye. Tata.